Before we formally begin our lesson, let's find out if you know something about the Southeast Asian countries. Up next are a few activities that will assess what you know, what you can do, and what else you need to learn to achieve your targets for this module. Are you ready? Let's travel. Now, wouldn't it be fun to visit different places? In Southeast Asia, there are 11 countries to visit. Are you familiar with the instruments below? Try to remember the hornbostel sax classification of instruments that you learned in grade 7. Is it an aerophone, chordophone, idiophone, membranophone, or an electrophone? Put a smiley face beside the instrument to indicate if you think you can play it. Cambodia is one of the beautiful countries in Southeast Asia. Cambodian court music is roughly similar to that of Java, Indonesia. I.E. choruses with large orchestras based on struck keys and gongs. The Pinpiat is a Cambodian musical ensemble or an orchestra that usually accompanies ceremonial music of the royal courts and temples. Music is always part of their court dances, masked plays, shadow plays, and religious ceremonies. This group is similar to the Pifat ensemble of Thailand and usually consists of 9 or 10 instruments. Indonesia is the world's 4th most nation of the world. There are 2 basic kinds of Indonesian music scale. O Slendro 5 equidistant tones in octave. O Pelak heptatonic 7-tone scale with semitone. Both vocal and instrumental music in Indonesia use Slendro and Pelak scales. Polyphonic stratification kind of melody is a result of Hocket/interlock. Interlocking is common technique used in gong ensembles. Irama is an Indonesian term for tempo. Vocal music is used as ornamentation of the gamelan. It is as important as gamelan. 1. Pasandan is a female soloist singer who sings with a gamelan. 2. Jarong refers to the unison male chorus that sings with the gamelan. The gamelan or gamelan orchestra is the most popular form of music in Indonesia. There are many types of gamelan, but the famous Javanese and Balinese gamelan are the most famous. It contains a variety of instruments such as metallophones, xylophones, kendang, and gongs, bamboo flutes, bowed and plucked strings. Javanese gamelan, used for court music. Percussion dominated style of playing gives solemn character. Balinese gamelan, used for sacred music, consist of idiophone and mostly metal gongs. Sudden change of tempo and dynamics are the basic characteristic. Sounds are very bright and brilliant. Use of fast and rattling sounds of cymbals makes distinctive characters. Myanmar was known as Burma until 1989. The country's name was officially changed by the military government that took over in 1988. The music of Myanmar, or Burma, has similarities with many other musical traditions in the region, including Chinese music and Thai music probably because its longest land border is shared with China. The Sangwayang is Myanmar's traditional folk music ensemble. It is made up mainly of different gongs and drums as well as other instruments depending on the nature of the performance. Myanmar's musical instruments are categorized into 2 types, the loud-sounding and soft-sounding. The loud-sounding instruments are performed in open-air ensembles at ceremonies and festivals. Most of the Sangwayang instruments belong to the loud-sounding category. For more formal and classical performances that are performed indoors, the ensemble may be accompanied by the songgok, 13-string angular harp with soft Sound and is considered the national instrument of Myanmar, the padala, Burmese xylophone, or the piano and violin, both introduced during colonial rule. Myanmar not only has their musical ensembles but they also have an extensive collection of classical songs called the Mahajita. Malaysia is a constitutional monarchy in Southeast Asia. It is divided into two regions. 1. West Malaysia, also known as Peninsular Malaysia. 2. East Malaysia. Music of Malaysia may be categorized into two types. 1. Classical and folk music emerged during the pre-colonial period and still exists in the form of vocal, dance and theatrical music. 2. Syncretic, or acculturated music, is developed during the post-Portuguese period, 16th century. Musical ensembles and types of performances in Malaysia. 1. Agung and Kolintang. It is a gong-based musical ensemble commonly used in funerals and weddings in East Malaysia. This type of ensemble is similar to the Kolintang of the Philippines, Brunei and Indonesia. 2. Kertog. A musical ensemble from the Malay Peninsula that consists of xylophones, played swiftly and rhythmically in traditional Malay functions. 3. Dikir Barat. It is a type of musical form that is important to Malaysia's national culture. It is performed by singing in groups and often in a competitive manner, usually with percussion instrumental accompaniment or sometimes without instruments at all. 4. Silat Melayu. This is a form of martial art that is similar to Tai Chi. It originated in the Malay Peninsula since the Christian era and is a mixture of martial arts, dance, and music, usually accompanied by gongs, drums, and Indian oboes. Thailand. Formerly known as Siam, Thailand is known for being the sole nation in Southeast Asia that has never been ruled by a Western power. Thailand has three primary instrumental ensembles that are similar to the other ensembles in Southeast Asia. 1. Pifat. It is a mid-sized orchestra that is performed in either outdoor style with hard mallets or indoor style with padded mallets. This ensemble has different types, but the highly ornate one is traditionally associated funerals and cremation ceremonies. Other versions of the Pifat ensemble are used to accompany specific forms of traditional Thai drama such as the large shadow puppet theatre, Nang Yai, and the Kon dance drama. 2. Kruan Sai. It is an orchestra that combines some of the percussion and wind instruments of the Pifat with an expanded string section. This group is primarily used for indoor performances and for the accompaniment of stick puppet theatre. 3. Mahori. This ensemble is traditionally played by women in the courts of Central Thailand and Cambodia. Because of this, instruments for this ensemble are historically smaller. However, regular-sized instruments are used today. A vocalist performing with the Mahori is usually accompanied by the Sosam Sai. Laos. This country is an independent state of Southeast Asia and officially known as Lao People's Democratic Republic. The Lao Orchestra can be divided into two categories. 1. Sepne. This is similar to the Pifat of Thailand with instruments that are strictly percussive but also integrates the use of an oboe. Wat Fa that Luang 26. 2. Sep Noi. It is also known as the Mahori of Thailand, however it incorporates the use of several keen, which is a large bamboo mouth organ and is the most popular folk music instrument of Laos. Traditional music, called Mor Lam, is largely based around the keen. Vietnam is officially known as the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. This country is located on the eastern coast of the Indo-Chinese Peninsula. Categories of Vietnamese music. 1. Imperial court music. The most popular of this kind is the Nanak that was popularly performed during the Tran dynasty to the Nguyen dynasty. This form of classical music is also performed in honor of the gods and scholars in temples. Other classical music falling into this category is the Dinak, great music, and the Tunak, small music, which was performed as chamber music for the king. 2. Folk music. This category is extremely diverse because it includes music performed both indoors and outdoors. Performers of this category are also diverse. They may be professional musicians down to the blind artists in the streets who perform to earn their living. Vietnamese folk music are performed in different occasions depending on its subcategory, like musical theater, streets, for courtship rituals, for invoking spirits in ceremonies, and are sometimes influenced by Western elements. Some Vietnamese music only has female singers and some have both male and female singers. 3. Religious and ceremonial music. These are music performed in religious rituals or at funerals. Singapore. Through the years, the music industry in Singapore grew, having Western influenced performances by the Singapore Symphony Orchestra as well as ethnic music performances mainly by the Singapore Chinese Orchestra. Other performing groups with Malay and Indian influence are still prevalent until today. Singapore's cultural life reflects its colonization by the British Empire and its diverse population. Being the melting pot of different cultures in Asia, folk music of this country reflects the culture and traditions of specific groups. Thank you for watching and listening.